there in that little closet, humming through my songs, reviewing my words, and I think I got about 4 reminders from my mom and my Mima. Show starts at 7. You have to go on right at 7. You can't be late. These are military folks. They'll get you. And I said, I thank you. And I came out early. And I also, as an Air Force brat, I said, don't worry, I got it. So 6:59, I'm pretending my broken watch works. It's not digital. So I don't know what all the lines mean. I'm kidding. But seriously, thank you so much for coming. I am so excited to be back here. I see some familiar faces. I see some faces that I haven't gotten to meet yet. I'm so excited to be able to do that. I have been coming to the Ark now. I think this is my 4th time singing here. But I know a lot of you who don't know me probably know my Meemaw, Turley. Yes, who's the brains behind this operation with Felicia. Thank you, Felicia and Nathan, for making this possible, and the entire ARC team. I'm so excited to be here. Some of you may also have known my grandfather. You might know him as Jim. I knew him as Peepaw. But I promised him that I would not stop bugging you after he was gone. So that's why I'm here tonight. And I'm so excited to share some different songs and stories. And if you already know this, I'm sorry, but I live in New York City and I'm an actor there. And I didn't get to come here last year. I didn't come home at all during the winter. Normally I do this during the winter time. But I had a really big year last year. I signed with a new agent in the spring and was fully booked from April through Thanksgiving. Thank you. It was really exciting. It was really fun. I got to play everything from a tap dancing construction worker, I'm not joking, to an electric guitar playing angel, to a musician from Austin, Texas, who had moved to New York in pursuit of her dreams, which was a little on the nose. But I think even though it was, of all of the shows I did, that one was probably on the smallest scale and had the shortest run, but it was the closest to my roots and myself and my story. And every time I come home, it feels like a returning to myself and the people that mean the most to me. And that includes you all, because it really does. It means a lot to know that my Meemaw is taken care of and has hundreds of friends around her at all times. It's really special. And so I'm really excited to share some joy with you all. So this first song is by Carole King. And there is a Broadway musical about her life called Beautiful. I have auditioned for the show 4 times. I haven't done it yet. But this is my unofficial audition. And this song is called So Far Away. Long intro. So far away, doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It would be so fine to see your face at my door, but it doesn't help to know that you're just time away. Long ago I reached for you and there you stood, holding you again would only do me good. How I wish I could, but you're so far away. One more song about moving along the highway. Can't say much of anything that's new. If I could only work this life out my way, I'd rather spend it being close to you. But you're so far away. Doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It would be so fine to see your face at my door, Traveling around sure gets me down and lonely. There's nothing I can do but close my mind. I sure hope the road don't come to me. There's so many dreams that I've yet to find. But you're so far away. Doesn't anybody stay in one place anymore? It would be so fun to see your face at my door. But it doesn't help to know that you're so far away. Yeah, you're so far away. Oh, you're so far away. That's it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Sorry, I'm still getting used to walking in these heels. I wear them once a year. Here. So it's been a minute. Part of returning to myself is also returning to my inner child. And if you couldn't tell by the everything about me, I was not super popular in high school. Not sporty, had a funny little haircut, and I also loved jazz. When I was 11 years old, I saved up my allowance. Half of it every week went to savings because my parents were very meticulous with that. So it took a minute, but I saved up my allowance and I bought the Michael Bublé Christmas album. Wow. The one that starts playing in HEB every October, way too early. And I listened to that thing probably every single day, year round, but I loved Michael Bublé, and one of my first loves was jazz, which surprisingly did not make me very popular with the sixth graders. I still don't know why. But this song is kind of tapping into that. When my mom and I were talking about the songs I was singing, and I shuffled the list around probably 13 times, and Meemaw sitting there like, this wasn't on the list, but it's okay. We had differing ideas of who sang this song first, so we looked it up. Not using ChatGPT, I'm not that young, I used Google. And it was originally from the Broadway show War of the Grease Paint. Has anybody heard of that show? I had not, and I have a degree in musical theater. So it was originally in War of the Grease Paint, popularized by Nina Simone, and then revitalized by Mr. Michael Bublé. So this song is called Feeling Good, and I'm not gonna need the lyrics, but if I do, they're right here. Okay. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me,
Butterflies all out having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace till day is done, you know what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a cold world for me. For me. And there's a dance break that I didn't know what to do with. But I can't dance in these shoes. So this is all you're getting. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Oh, new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Yeah. Thank you. I put all of the hard songs in the beginning. That way I could enjoy my wine in Mima's bedazzled cup that her friend Babs gave her. We know Babs. We're not surprised that the sparkles came from Babs. I think. Is that who gave it to you, Mima?
I think so.
We'll find out. She didn't win it at bingo. I recently played bingo on a vacation, and I won, not to brag, a visor. And I wore that thing with pride for the rest of my vacation. I was so excited, and I texted Mima in all caps. I said, I won bingo. I played 9 boards at once. It was the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life. I've soloed at Carnegie Hall, and playing 9 boards on bingo was harder. But nevertheless, we persist. So this next song is from Sunset Boulevard, the Andrew Lloyd Webber adaptation of the movie that came out, I looked it up earlier, in 1953, maybe. We can ask ChatGPT later. But I believe that. And it's about a silent film star. Her name is Norma Desmond, and she suffered some kind of, how do I make this light and fun, psychotic break, and took a break from acting, and then refound her love for performing. And every time I'm feeling uninspired, every time I'm feeling like the grind of auditioning all the time and going to these callbacks and working multiple part-time jobs to afford to be able to do the auditions and everything gets draining, I try to schedule a trip home. Because there's something about just returning to where you came from that can recharge you and revitalize you. I'm also very lucky that I feel that way about being around my family, my parents, and my hometown, because that's not always the case for everybody. But this song is her returning to the sound stage where they filmed the silent movies for the first time. And it's kind of how I feel every time I walk back into my parents' house. I'm gonna take another sip of water first, because it's a long one. But the song is called As If We Never Said Goodbye. I don't know why I'm frightened. I know my way around here. Just kidding. Oh, there we go. The cardboard trees, the painted scenes, the sound here, yes, I want to rediscover, but I'm not in any hurry, and I need in overcrowded hallways. The atmosphere is thrilling here as always, with the early morning madness and the magic in the making. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye. I've spent so many mornings just trying to resist you. I'm trembling now. You can't know how I've missed you. Missed the fairy tale adventures in this ever-spinning playground. We were young together. I'm coming out of makeup. The lights already burning. Not long until the cameras will start turning. And the early morning madness and the magic in the making. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye. I don't want to be alone. That's all in the past. This world's waited long enough. I've come at last, and this time will be bigger and brighter than it. So watch me fly. We all know I can do it. When I stop my hand from shaking, has there ever been a moment with so much to live for? The whispered conversations, in overcrowded hallways. So much to say, not just today, but always. We'll have early morning madness. We'll have magic in the making. Yes, everything's as if we never said goodbye. Yes, everything's as if we never said Thank you so much. I think also what is so special about the ARC is my Mima and my Peepaw moved in, and I'm looking at you for help. I was in 8th grade, so like 13 years ago?
11.
11 years, I was close. 11 years ago. And I've been visiting ever since. And I've met a lot of her friends, which is so cool because it's the friends that I hear about on phone calls. Today I got to meet the famous Whoopsie. I've heard Meemaw talk about her so much, and I was not convinced it was not just Meemaw's imaginary friend. Or her friends Ross and Arlene, and so many friends who I feel like met me 11 years ago and have watched me grow from a girl into a woman. It's like I have 200 other Meemaws and Peepaws. It's really special, so I think it's only fair to update you on my life. Every time I'm here, I make jokes about if anybody has a cute grandson or a rich grandson who's okay looking. But in the last year and a half, I have fallen in love. Very exciting. And my standards, and I think why I had some difficulty plucking one out of the middle of nowhere, was I had a very high bar. When I was dating, my first date question for anybody was, are your parents in love? And it was shocking to hear how many said no. And it actually broke my heart a little bit because my parents, God bless them, with all their quirks, have been married for 30 years and are obsessed with each other. And it is the most beautiful thing. And my Meemaw and my Peepaw were obsessed with each other. And to be surrounded by so much love and to have that modeled for me from such an early age, it makes your standards very high. And to be loved unconditionally is also something that I had experienced from my parents, from my siblings, from my grandparents, and so I knew what that felt like. And I feel very lucky, and so I wanted to find that. And I know that a lot of you here have that too with your person, whether they're still here with you or not. That doesn't just go away. And, when I think every couple gets to that point where they're like, are we really doing this? And I told my partner, I said, the way that I feel about you doesn't happen every day, and it sometimes happens twice if you're lucky. Or 3 times if you're really lucky. But it's not the kind of thing I'm ever willing to cast aside. And this song is how I hope I feel when I'm, with respect, your age. And how I see a lot of you feeling about your person, how I see that my mom feels about my dad and my Meemaw felt about my Peepaw. It's a very touching song. It's from the Stephen Sondheim musical Follies. It was originally sang by Barbara Cook, if any of us know her and like her, but it's called In Buddy's Eyes. Life is short, but it feels exciting when Buddy's there. Gourmet cooking and letter writing, and knowing Buddy's there. Every morning, don't faint, I tend the flowers. Can you believe it? Every weekend, I paint for umpteen hours. And yes, I miss a lot, living like a shut-in. No, I haven't got cooks or cars or diamonds. Yes, my clothes are not Paris fashions, but in Buddy's eyes, I'm young, I'm beautiful. In Buddy's eyes, I don't get older. So life is ducky and time goes flying, and I'm so lucky I feel like crying. If you have your person here with you, please hold their hand if you're able. Or hold a friend's hand. That's love too. In Buddy's eyes, I'm young, I'm beautiful. In Buddy's eyes, I can't get older. I'm still the princess, still the prize. In Buddy's eyes, I'm young, I'm beautiful. In Buddy's arms, on Buddy's shoulder, I don't get older. Nothing dies. And all I ever dreamed I'd be, the best I ever thought of me, is every minute there to see. In Buddy's eyes. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. This next song is, okay, listen up. Instruction time. After this song, I'm gonna take a 5-minute break. And I mean a tight Air Force 5. And that's a great time to refill drinks and go to the bathroom. So just hold that in your mind. Think about, do I want the sweet Riesling yet? Do I want the soft Blanc next? What do I want? I'm not sure. This next song is from a musical called Come From Away. And some of us know it. It is about 9/11, which sounds heavy because it is. But there was a plane that had to make an emergency landing. It got detoured off the route from Paris to Dallas. And they had to detour to Newfoundland, Canada. And the population of the city doubled when the plane landed. It was a very, very, very tiny town. And this song was written from an interview with Beverly Bass, who was the pilot of that flight. And it's about her life story. She's from Texas, and hearing her, and a lot of the lines from the song are actually direct quotes from the interview that the writers of the musical had with her. And it's a role that I've always wanted to play. I think it's a great story. I think the musical, if you haven't seen it yet, it is available on Apple TV. So you can get your grandkids to help with that, because I can't even figure out the Apple TV. I don't have one, I can't. I don't have cable, like I don't do TV. But it's a really beautiful musical, and I think does a good job of it does not glamorize this horrible thing that happened, this devastating event, but it does highlight some of the glimmers of hope that allowed for people to get through it. You know, not over, you never get over something like that, but get through it. So it's a beautiful story, and it's a true story. And this is called Me and the Sky. My track is delayed for a couple seconds. It's not you, Nathan. There we go. My parents must have thought they had a crazy kid, 'cause I was one of those kids who always knew what I wanted. They took me down to the airport to see all the planes depart, and watching them fly, something inside of me was starting. I was 8 when I told them that I'd be a pilot, but I was too young and too short, and there were no female captains, and my dad said, be patient, he said, just see what happens. So I took my first lesson, came down from the sky, and told my father I'd fly for the rest of my life. Then I got my first job, flying for a mortician, in a tiny bonanza, just a corpse and me. $5 an hour, for flying dead bodies. I had to climb over their faces just to get to my seat. But suddenly the wheels lift off, the ground is falling backwards. I am suddenly alive. Suddenly I'm in the cockpit. Suddenly everything's changed. Suddenly I'm not too young or too short, and the passengers in the back don't complain. Suddenly I'm flying company charters. Suddenly everything's high. Suddenly there's nothing in between me and the sky. American Airlines had the prettiest planes, so I applied as a flight engineer. But the World War II pilots, they all complained. They said girls shouldn't be in the cockpit. Hey lady, hey baby, hey, why don't you grab us a drink? And the flight attendants weren't my friends back then, and they said, are you better than us, do you think? But I kept getting hired, and the World War II crew, they retired, and the girls all thought much higher of me. 1986, the first female American captain in history. Suddenly I'm in the cockpit. Suddenly I've got my wings. Suddenly all of those pilots protesting me, they can get their own drinks. Suddenly there's no one saying stay grounded, looking out, passing on by. Suddenly there's nothing in between me and the sky. Suddenly I've got an all-female crew. The news caught and made headlines across the world. Suddenly it stopped. No one's saying you can't, or you won't, or you know you're not anything 'cause you're a girl. Suddenly I'm getting married, and we're putting pins on the map where we've flown. And suddenly I am a mother, and suddenly shocked at how much they've grown. Suddenly I'm wondering how my parents would feel seeing me teaching men to be pilots. 'Cause suddenly I am a senior instructor, and somehow I'm 51. Suddenly I'm flying Paris to Dallas, across the Atlantic and feeling calm. When suddenly someone on air-to-air traffic says at 8:46 there's been a terrorist action, and the one thing I loved more than anything was used as the bomb. Suddenly I'm in a hotel. Suddenly something has died. Suddenly there's something in between me and the sky. Thank you. Thank you so much. So now we'll do our little 5-minute intermission. I don't know how to turn the lights back on. But I'll be back in 5 minutes. This spring, right after my 26th birthday, which is when my prefrontal cortex went click, and suddenly I was like, I'm an adult now. And the second my biological clock started ticking, I had the privilege of singing in a really, really great concert at a venue in New York called 54 Below. It's downstairs from where Studio 54 was. Like that Studio 54, like the Studio 54 that you don't want to admit to your kids that you went to back in the day, those kinds of vibes. Like the Studio 54 that they made documentaries about. Questionable things happened there. But the concert venue downstairs is really beautiful. And they did a concert honoring Brandi Carlile, who is a multi-time Grammy award-winning artist and songwriter. She is a collaborator with Elton John and Joni Mitchell, and she's also done a lot of solo work. She really is incredible. She's the type of famous that I want to be, that she can walk into a Starbucks and no one will recognize her or bug her, but she is really accomplished and celebrated and just makes beautiful, beautiful art. And if you have free time later, I highly encourage you to look up her work because she's incredible. But this concert was a lot of her music, it was a lot of Broadway performers, and me, who was just happy to be there. And we were all sitting around at sound check, and it was just us and the band who was there. And we were all kind of talking, waiting for the band to set up. And as theater people do, we started talking about different auditions we've gone on, different shows we've done, different callbacks we've gone to recently. Some of us had just been called back for the same show. And the conversation turned a little more fun, and we started discussing dream roles. Like, if you could pick any role to play, what would you pick? And it got to me, and I was totally stumped. I had no clue. And I just attributed it to nerves because I was playing the guitar and singing, which there's a reason I don't have a guitar with me tonight. I play for fun, it's a hobby, but they wanted me to do it for this concert. And everyone's talking about their dream role, and then one of the performers comes in pushing a stroller, and she says, "I'm so sorry, my babysitter fell through, and I had to bring my daughter." 18-month-old kid, adorable child. And so she goes on stage to sound check her song, and we're all playing with the baby and like peekaboo, and the kid is just freaking out, wailing, crying, could not be consoled. And finally, the singer just goes and scoops up the baby and goes back onto stage. And it wasn't the concert, it was just sound check. But I was watching her sitting on stage, holding her baby, singing, and I was like, that's the dream role, right? That's the dream. Like, I am tearing up just thinking about it. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. And so this next song is not the song I sang in that concert. This is the song she sang. Pretend I'm holding my 18-month-old baby that doesn't exist, that I can definitely afford to provide for right now. But this song is called The Mother by Brandi Carlile. Welcome to the end of being alone inside your mind. You're tethered to another and you're worried all the time. You always knew the melody, but you never heard it rhyme. She's fair and she is quiet, Lord. She doesn't look like me. She made me love the morning. She's a holiday at sea. The New York streets are as busy as they always seem to be. And I am the mother of Evangeline. The first things that she took from me were selfishness and sleep. She broke 1,000 heirlooms I was never meant to keep. She filled my life with color, canceled plans and trashed my car. But none of that was ever who we are. Outside of my window are the mountains and the snow. I'll hold you while you're sleeping and I'll wish that I could go. All my rowdy friends are out accomplishing their dreams, but I am the mother of Evangeline. And they still got their morning paper and their coffee and their time, and they still enjoy the evenings with the skeptics and the wine. Oh, but all the wonders I have seen I will see a second time, from inside of the ages through your eyes. You were not an accident where no one thought it through. The world has stood against us to make us mean, to fight for you. And when we chose your name, we knew you'd fight the power too. You're nothing nothing short of magical and beautiful to me. I'll never hit the big time without you, so they can keep their treasures and their ties to the machine. 'Cause I am the mother of Evangeline. They can keep their treasures and their ties to the machine. I am the mother of Evangeline. This next song has been floating around in my brain for a long time. In 2019, I did a season up at the Woodstock Playhouse in upstate New York, and it was the 50th anniversary of Hair, the musical. Yes, we did the famous scene in Hair. But I got away with it because I was the pregnant hippie, Jeannie, who sings the song about pollution. So they gave me a fake belly, a little on the nose, and so I didn't have to do the scene. So I got away with it, not having to do it. But we also did Newsies, which was about the newsboy strike of 1899, and I played the curviest newsboy of them all. And we did Mamma Mia, which is one of my favorite musicals. It's returning to Broadway this year. Very exciting. And it's just, it's fun, it's silly, it's campy, it's ABBA, but at the core of it, and the reason I think it lasted on Broadway much longer than other kind of campy, they call them jukebox musicals when it's a musical written with pre-existing pop music. I think it's because at the core of the show, it's about this beautiful mother-daughter bond. And it's a little bit messy, and it's a little bit dramatic, and a little bit complicated, but at the end of the day, they love each other so much. And so this song is very special to me because of that. And I think too, and I know you'll all relate to this in one way or another, growing up in a military family, my parents, specifically my mom, did a really good job of making sure that me and my siblings, really cherished our time with our father while we had it. But under that is a little bit of darkness, because it's a little bit of knowing you might not always have that. And I think it's hard. When I was in 6th grade, I had a really incredible math teacher. His name is Joe Tiemann, and he was retired Air Force, and then he started teaching middle school math. And there was a kid in my class, and both of our dads were deployed. And my dad came home, and his did not. And that shifted everything for me. And it just really it was like a sobering feeling. And again, it just made me like, all of the time I had with my dad, even when I was being bratty and annoying, there was an undercurrent of knowing like, this is special. And while all of that's going on, the idea of something happening to my mom never even entered my brain. Like, I never even thought about it. It wasn't even like something I could conceptualize until it happened. And she's fine, she's here. But I'm not gonna speak too much to it. I know some of you already know about this, but my mom had a bit of a health event. And being so far away, being exactly 1,857 miles away from my parents' house, finding out this news it was like my entire worldview got flipped on its head. And I just had never even thought, like, oh, I guess, yeah, she's a mortal living human being, something could happen to her. But it was such a foreign idea, such a scary idea. And she's completely fine, because she's a fierce, strong lady. She just got her 5th degree black belt in martial arts. She's the 3rd woman in this type of martial art to reach this level. She's a master. So when you see her later and shake her hand, you can call her Master Lisa. It's really, just incredible. And if I grow up to be a 10th of the woman she is, that would be exceptional. But this song, I think you hear it, and in the context of the show, it's about a mom watching her daughter leave the nest and go off into the world. But I think there's a bunch of different ways you can look at it. And you can also look at it from the other perspective. I promised myself I wouldn't cry, but we'll see. But this song is called Slipping Through My Fingers by ABBA from Mamma Mia. School bag in hand, she leaves home in the early morning, waving goodbye with an absent-minded smile. I watch her go with an old unfamiliar feeling, and I have to sit down for a while. The feeling that I'm losing her forever, and without really entering her world. I'm glad whenever I can share her laughter, that funny little girl, slipping through my fingers all the time. I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it, slipping through my fingers all the time. Do I really see what's in her mind? Each time I think I'm close to knowing, she keeps on growing, slipping through my fingers all the time. Sleep in our eyes, her and me at the breakfast table, barely awake. I let precious time slip by, and when she's gone, there's that old melancholy sadness and a sense of guilt I can't deny. What happened to our wonderful adventures? The places I had planned for us to go. Well, some of them we did, but some we didn't. And why, I just don't know. Slipping through my fingers all the time. I try to capture every minute, the feeling in it, slipping through my fingers all the time. Do I really see what's in her mind? Each time I think I'm close to knowing, she keeps on growing, slipping through my fingers all the time. Sometimes I wish that I could freeze the picture and save it from the funny tricks of time. School bag in hand, she leaves home in the early morning, waving goodbye with an absent-minded smile. Thank you. Sorry I was a downer. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. So I know this is my last, I've called this the mother section of my show. But I think, and really it's any parent-child relationship. They just haven't written as many good songs about father-daughter relationships, so maybe I should change that. But this next song, I heard it for the first time, and it stopped me in my tracks on the street. It came on shuffle on my Spotify, just like randomly. I'm still convinced it was some form of divine intervention. But it really just encapsulates this feeling of like knowing that there is something bigger than you and beyond you. And a lot of the time that can be carried on through your family and through your lineage. And I think we all want the people who come after us to have it a little bit easier than we did, but also not forget the hard stuff that has happened, and not forget how good we have it. When my Meemaw was my age, she was a widow with 2 toddlers. And I have to remember to throw away my milk before it goes bad. And those are just 2 different levels of priorities. But I think about that. I think about her and what she went through. I think about my mom. When my father would deploy, it was my mom wrangling 4 kids at once. Like, that's hard. Everything that the women before me have gone through is hopefully, God willing, going to be a little bit tougher than what myself and my children will experience. And, I think about my Minnie, my Meemaw's mom, who got married when she was 16 and then went to high school the next day. Like, you really, if you go back and my Ammo, my dad's mom, who I'm wearing some of her jewelry tonight because she's not with us anymore, but I wanted her, she would have loved this. She would have loved this. And I know some of you got to meet her because she came and visited my Meemaw and people at the Ark a handful of times. And she got to live with us for the last couple of years of her life. And those conversations, sometimes she would be getting ready in the bathroom and I would sit on the toilet with the lid closed. It wasn't gross. And I would just ask her questions about what her life was like when she was my age, or some of her favorite memories, or the story of how her mother coaxed her into shaving under her arms for the first time. And I know all of these stories, and that is so special. And there are things that I'm not going to forget, and I won't let the people who come after me forget, because that stuff matters, and it keeps us close to the people who are most important, even if they're passed on. But this song is called "The Story Goes On" from the musical Baby, and it's I'm not going to say anything else because I know I'm talking too much, but it's one of my favorites. So this is the tale my mother told me, a tale that was much too dull to hold me. And this is the surge and the rush she said would show. Our story goes on. Oh, I was young, I forgot that things outlive me. My goal was the kick that life would give me. And now, like a joke, something moves to let me know our story goes on. And all these things I feel and more, my mother's mother felt, and hers before. A chain of life begun upon the shore of some dark sea, and reached to me. And now I can see the chain extending. My child is next in a line that has no ending. And here am I, feeling life that her child will feel when I am gone. And thus it is, our story goes on and on and on and on and on. and hers before a chain of life begun upon the shore of some primordial sea has stretched through time to reach to me. And now I can see the chain extending. My child is next in a line that has no ending. And here am I, feeling life that her child will feel when I'm gone. Yes, all that was is part of me, as I am part of what's to be. And now it is our story goes on. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, the sad part is over. I have to fix my pants. Oh my goodness. Okay, so all of this baby talk, I don't want to confuse anybody. I cannot afford a child right now. But if this one circumstance about my life changed, if this were to occur, it might be able to happen. If I were a rich man, all day long and bitty bitty bomb. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. If I were a bitty bitty rich, idle diddle 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 man, I'd have a great big house with rooms by the dozen right in the middle of the town. A fine tin roof with real wooden floors below. And I'd build one big staircase just going up, and one even longer going down, and one more leading nowhere just for show. I'd fill my yard with chicks and turkeys and geese to flock for the town to see and hear, squawking just as noisily as I can. And with every would land like a trumpet on the ear, as if to say, here lives a wealthy man. If I were a rich man, all day long I'd bitty bitty bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. If I were a bitty bitty rich, idle diddle 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 man, I'd see my wife, my golden, looking like a rich man's wife with a proper double chin, supervising meals to her heart's delight. I'd see her putting on airs and strutting like a peacock. Oh, what a happy mood she's in. Screaming at the servants day and night. The most important men would come and fawn on me. They would ask me to advise them like a Solomon wise. If you please, Rapatavia, pardon me, Rapatavia, asking questions that would cross around my think you really know. If I were rich, I'd have the hours that I lack to sit in the synagogue and pray, and maybe have a seat by the eastern wall. And I would do something several hours every day. That would be the sweetest gift of all. If I were a rich man, all day long I'd bitty bitty bum. If I were a wealthy man, I wouldn't have to work hard. God, who made the lion and the lamb? You decreed I must be what I am. Would it spoil some vast eternal land if I were a wealthy man? I promise it wouldn't all be slow songs. Alright, I have one more for you. This song I sang with my people on the Sky Lounge. Up in the Sky Lounge? It's not the Sky Lounge anymore, it's the Grand View. Okay. Someone didn't listen at the committee meeting. The Grand View. We were up there, they did karaoke up there. So this was, I was a junior in high school. So 2015. And I sang a little song by myself and I did a little tap dance, which was questionable because I have 2 left feet. And then we sang a song that I cannot sing tonight because I cannot sing it without crying. We sang Edelweiss. And then we sang one more. The Edelweiss is the one that got recorded, that gets reshared to Facebook every year. But we sang one more. And it also was one of my, and this is kind of why I was like, oh, this is perfect. It was one of my Ammo, my dad's mom, one of her favorite songs. And I sometimes would have my friends from high school come over and we would just sing in the living room and that was our entertainment. And my friend Nathan and I sang this. And Nathan is also an Air Force brat and he lives in New York now too. And we get to hang out all the time and it's very fun. But my Ammo loved him. And I think the fact that we did not wind up dating for, if you met him, very obvious reasons, broke her heart. But we sang this song for her and she absolutely loved it. And I hope you know it and enjoy it. And also, you know, we talked about love. It touches a nerve for me because I really do. I believe in some kind of fate or things that are meant to be. I met my partner 6 months before we actually started dating at a random women's rugby recruitment event. And we spoke for maybe 4 seconds. But I can tell you the color shirt that was worn at the time, you know, because I remember it so vividly. And this song, I think and I think the reason why it's so well loved and so popular and it holds up. This song is not fresh. This is an older song. But I think because almost everybody can relate to that feeling, that buzz, that excitement of when you first lock eyes with somebody and know, like, oh, this is going to turn into something. So this song is called Some Enchanted Evening. And this has also been an enchanted evening with you all. Some enchanted evening, you may see a stranger, you may see a stranger across a crowded room, and somehow you know even then that somehow you'll see her again, and
again. Some enchanted evening, someone may be laughing. You may hear her laughing across the crowded room, and night after night, as strange as it seems, her laughter will find you in all of your dreams. Who can explain it? Who can tell you why? Fools give you reasons, wise men never try. Some enchanted evening, when you find your true love, when you hear her laughing across the crowded room, then fly to her side and make her your own. Or all throughout life you could end up alone. Once you have found her, never let her go. Once you have found her,